It is 5:30, so we're going to go ahead and begin. Hopefully, everybody was able to look at the agenda from last time that we met. We're going to go ahead and start off with introductions. I'm going to start on my left side.
Hi, my name is Araceli Aguilar.
Chester Gonzalez.
Hello, my name is Miguel Ángel Patiño.
Daniela Sosa. Carmen Nordyke.
David Ramirez.
Ryan Greenfield, I'm the PUBCAP liaison.
Patricia Cavazos, and I was just informed that I'm the chairman. So I am going to be the chairman today. So welcome everybody this evening for our meeting, September 18th, 2024, for the approval of the July 19, 24 minutes. Okay, motion carries. Okay, old business. Any old business?
The main thing that we were talking about at our last meeting was preparations for the PUBCAP dinner, which was in September. And I know one of the things I mentioned at the last meeting was that we would be bringing in some new members. And this is our first meeting of the new PUBCAP year. And so we do have some of those new members here. If y'all wouldn't mind maybe just reintroducing yourselves to make sure everyone knows who the latest members here on PUBCAP.
Do you want to start?
So my name is Daniela Sosa. Professionally, what I do is I do SBA lending for the Small Business Administration.
Welcome.
My name is Carmen Nordyke. I'm a licensed insurance agent.
My name is David Ramirez, and I'm the CEO of the Brownsville South Padre Island Board of Realtors.
Welcome.
My name is Araceli Aguilar, and I work for Gomez Fragoso & Associates. We're an accounting firm here in Brownsville.
Welcome new members to our board. We're very happy to have you with us and serving the community. So thank you very much for being here. Okay.
And then as far as old business, just want to remind that we did also talk about the implementation of the upcoming credit card fee, and that's still scheduled to go into place October 1st. There is a bill insert that's currently going out about that, and there's also been email communication that has been sent out to customers as well.
Okay, thank you. We're on number 4, new business.
I did want to bring up a couple of items just so that y'all are aware of. October is always a very busy time for us because it's officially it's Public Power Week. We like to kind of try to extend it throughout the whole month, but officially Public Power Week is the first full week in October. We typically have some more communications that go out, let people know about the benefits of public power. We're planning on doing some lobby presentations during that month. Miguel will talk to y'all a little bit more about a community event that we're holding. And that's also the month that we do our community tour of the electrical system. We'll be sending out an invitation soon about that. So, of course, the whole community is invited to that, but a special invitation for anyone on PUBCAP who would like to attend. We'll be sending out some information on that shortly.
Okay.
And right now it's scheduled for the last Friday in October.
Okay. I know last year we went to the zoo to participate, so we're not doing that this year. It was Boo at the Zoo, and we had like a little table, and
we will be participating in
okay.
Boo at the Zoo again.
Okay.
And
I was just
and yeah, if anyone would like to assist with that again, we would always love the help for that. We'll send some more information about that as well.
Perfect. Good. Thank you. Okay, so Just a note on agenda 7 and 8. We're gonna go ahead and do that. We're gonna move it up. So we're gonna start with BPUB community event.
Good evening, members of PUBCAP. My name is Miguel Calles, Digital Information Platforms here at Brownsville Public Utilities Board. And today I'll be talking to you about BPUB's upcoming event. We're launching a Touch a Truck event in collaboration with the Children's Museum. The event is scheduled Saturday, October 19th from 1 to 4 p.m. At the Children's Museum. And the goal of this event is to enhance our community relationships with our customers and create a better engagement with them as well. Part of that is to educate the customers on the utilities programs and services, anywhere from our rebates to our assistance programs and all of the other programs that the departments offer here at PUB. So with that said, we're wanting to make you aware of that, invite the public out. If you all would like to attend, we certainly welcome the support, since this is the first of its kind, event that we're hosting. So we have a lot of activities planned throughout the event. We've got truck demonstrations where the kids will be able to interact with the trucks and get to learn firsthand how the utility crew operates those trucks, and so it'll be a very fun, interactive event for the whole family. And so, certainly welcome the support and your attendance for this event. We did start a promotional campaign that kicked off September 9th. We started launching our social media. We've got billboards, and we're working with the Children's Museum as well. They're supporting us in those efforts to let the community know about this event as well. Any questions on that?
So this is gonna be the first time that you all host this?
Yeah, so this is the first time. We've got a lot of participation from throughout the utility, representation from various departments, from all 3 utilities. They'll be there, as I mentioned, talking about the assistance programs, rebates. We've got our analytical lab that's going to be doing demonstrations on water quality and how they test for that. So it's quite a bit. We've got about 17 departments participating, so quite a bit of them are going to be there doing demonstrations. We've got our Resaca restoration. It's going to be talking about that as well. We'll have the dredger so the kids can see that. So we've got a lot of stuff planned. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a good way for spreading more awareness of what we have, right, and PUB, and for the kids to have that interactive type of. So that'll be a nice event. Thank you very much.
Yeah. You're
Nice
welcome.
event.
Thank you. Any other questions on
Any
that?
other questions?
I do have I was just asking, Brian, if we are going to be receiving this either online so we can share it. I know that we can share it with our public information officer, or we can actually.
Certainly, yeah. We'll definitely send out some communication. We do have the event posted on Facebook, but we can send you some. We've got some promotional items, some flyers, and things like that that can be shared with the school.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'll forward to the panel tomorrow by email, so y'all
Okay.
can all have it.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And just a quick plug-in, if you haven't already, please like our Brownsville Public Utilities Board Facebook page, and feel free to share it there as well. We really appreciate your help and support with this.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Next up, I'll be talking about our rate comparisons communication. So we've been asked to kind of revamp the communication that we do. We do a monthly post on our rate comparisons. This is what we currently post. As you can see, it provides the customer a view of what a typical bill might look like based on the 1,000 kilowatt hours electric cells. And so part of that confusion has been a little bit of confusion in terms of, you know, how that is presented. And there's some additional messaging that we want to incorporate to let customers know, you know, how our rates compare and what to look out for when they compare rates to other electric service providers in our area. So the information that we put out here is generated through publicly available information on the PUC, on the PUC's website, Power to Choose, which is a website where you can go and look at other retail service providers across Texas. And so we do that based on our local retail service providers, as well as other electric companies around the area as well. Part of that communication, as I mentioned, is highlighting our advantage over, you know, the retail, what the value that PUB provides. And so we want to make that front and center for the customer, highlighting our commitment to local service, or the investment that we provide as a public utility to the community, right? And as well as our customer-focused approach in terms of providing those assistance programs and payment arrangements and that flexibility that customers have when it comes to managing their bills. Some of the things we also want to highlight is how we compare, you know, in terms of what they're getting at from the rates that we provide versus what's available on Power to Choose. So, you know, some of the things that includes you know, the fixed rate, whereas you might find some variable rate plans in that website. No contract term limits, the cancellation fees, you know, and all of that. And then also the accessibility to our customer service. As being a local utility, we have our customer service available here for customers to reach out to. And then a big component of the messaging is also reorganizing how we compare the rates and how we present that. So as you saw in the initial post that we did, we present that in a graph format. And so to kind of give the customer a little bit more focus on our rates, we've kind of broken those out and made them front and center with the availability for them to also look at in a more familiar format. So when you log into Power to Choose, it's more of a table format like this. And so just to give them that familiarity to be able to compare the rates that way. We also included the electric rate and the bill, right, based on those parameters of the 1,000 kilowatt hours of electric cells. And so I think that this format, I think, will help customers better understand the comparisons, right, and with the value that they're getting from PUB. And then finally, we're looking at just some kind of reiterating that fact, right, just things to look out for when evaluating those rates and comparing rates. And so we just were wanting to get your feedback and kind of you know, let you know that this is the new direction that we're going with this approach to our rate comparison communication. Any questions?
If I'm a new customer, how would I know about all this? I have to come to the office, or how do I get all this information?
I'm sorry, can you?
If I'm a new customer, how would I get all this information?
So the rate comparisons we post them every month on our website, so they're available on our website, as well as our rates, they're available there as well. In order to drive traffic to that, we post these on social media so that customers can be in the know, right, when these get updated and released every month.
Okay.
Any other questions? No? Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your information.
Thank you.
Okay, we're now on the drought update.
Good evening, Chair, members of the board, new members of the panel, new members. My name is Rene Mariscal. I'm the division manager for the utility. I'll be providing a drought update. Typically, I would just give you our new reservoir levels, but for the sake of our new members, I'm going to provide a little bit of an overview. The main message for today is really, and I'll talk a little bit more about these and elaborate on them, but really, the main messages are that we're currently in stage 2, and our forecast is that we're moving into stage 3, and I'll talk about the stages, and primarily that we're asking the community to help by complying with stage 2 restrictions. Okay, that's the main message. And let me talk a little bit about the stages. For overview, here in Brownsville, we store our water supply at these 2 reservoirs, at Amistad and Falcon. And it's not just Brownsville, it's the majority of the communities along the border. Those are our primary reservoirs, and that's where we all request water from these reservoirs via the state. You'll note that some tributaries are on the Mexican side. That's the watershed. On the Mexican side, you see that there's some tributaries, and those are the primary tributaries that feed these reservoirs, at least for our sake. So when we talk about drought, right? And you see it's raining right now outside, you would think, well, what drought? But from a water supply standpoint, we're still in a severe drought. And I'll explain why here in a minute. Again, when we talk about rain, it's nice that it rains here because it curtails demand from the reservoirs. But really what we would really like to see is rain throughout the watersheds, specifically along these tributaries, so that it provides water to these reservoirs, so that there's ample water at these reservoirs. But we'll take the rain down here, especially now. The U.S. International Boundary Water Commission is the entity that manages the river. They consist of members from both the U.S. side and the Mexican side, and they ensure that the 1944 treaty is being met. This is the treaty between the U.S. and Mexico. As a result of that treaty, Mexico is obligated to provide the United States with about 1.7 million acre feet over a 5-year cycle. The cycle for this, the current cycle began in October 2020. So we're getting close to that 5 years. As of September 7th, the deliveries that Mexico has provided is roughly a little over 407,000 acre feet. So clearly, nowhere near the obligated amounts. So on the PUB side, executives, as far as the treaty is concerned, there's a lot of communications, resolutions, working with our legislators, U.S. Department of State. So there's definitely significant effort on the utility side to help push that treaty be met. And it's not just the utility, it's clearly communities throughout the border. This graph, if you look at that red line, is what, if Mexico were to provide the required 350,000 acre feet per year, it would follow essentially that red line over the 5 years. What they provided thus far is what you see there in the black line. So clearly it's not following that 350,000 acre feet per year. So what does that mean? So as a result of that, and not just Mexico, right? Clearly the weather, climate, Mexico also has their challenges, but as a result of that, our reservoirs, those 2 reservoirs that we talked about, are really low. If you look at the blue line there, that's the U.S. storage, and that's just giving you a view of over the last several years. If you look at 2024, at the far right, if you focus on the blue line, if you see how low that is, you could go back across previous years, and you'll see that the last time we were at these levels was back in 1998, roughly 98. And quite frankly, this past summer, we went a little bit below that reading in 1998. So what do we do here at the utility to help mitigate some of that? And not only the utility, other communities. We're all required to have what's called the Water Conservation and Drought Contingency Plan. That's a mandate, state mandate. You update those plans every 5 years. We just updated our plan here in May, and that was submitted to the state. And that the plan consists of a water conservation section where we talk about what are our goals, what are our measures for conserving. And then there's the drought contingency plan. And that's for, how do we address, how do we curtail demand via water restrictions, surcharges, and enforcement. I'm going to focus a little bit on the drought contingency plan. I will add that although we submitted a plan in May, we continue to work on improving that plan. There's work being done now to improve upon the plan that we have now. So the drought contingency portion of that plan, really the purpose again there for that portion of the plan is to limit the demand of water during water emergencies, such as drought and other emergencies. And really is to minimize the adverse impacts of water supply shortages or other emergencies. The authority for this plan is this is city ordinance. The authority, the PUB, we set the guidelines and criteria in collaboration with the city of Brownsville. And then our general manager and CEO and the city of Brownsville mayor, they're the ones, or their designees, they're the ones who initiate and terminate each of the stages that I'm going to talk about. On the left, you see the 4 stages. Our first was voluntary. Typically, every May 1st, we would implement the stage 1, a voluntary stage, where we ask everybody to, reduce their usage on a voluntary basis. We're now into stage 2, where we now have restrictions. And our restrictions, our plans, they're all on our website. You can go on there and find all the detailed restrictions. I'll just provide a quick overview, but we'll be glad to, dive into the restrictions if needed. Stage 3, which is we start getting into potentially implementing surcharges. Tighter restrictions, but now we start getting into some potential surcharges. And then stage 4 is rationing. That can occur whenever there's a real serious emergency where we ask people that they begin rationing the water. We hope never to go there, but nevertheless, that's what our current plan has as different stages. The meter there, you'll see that as of September 7th, this is a reporting from the USIBWC. As of September 7th, the combined storage for those 2 reservoirs is at 20%. And just a quick view, what it's done over the last several years. If you look at the red line there, that's 2021, and then green, 22, blue, 23, and this year, that purple line, that's where those levels have been at the U.S. combined storage at both of those dams. So clearly, there's a trend that over the years, those levels at the reservoir have been dropping. And there are different factors for that, weather, certainly, climate, other factors. But bottom line is we're definitely see lows. Even with this rain, you'll see that, yes, there's been a slight increase to 20.0, where last month we were at 18.7. I think in June, we hit our lowest at 18.5. That 19 reflects the last reading of the month. But nevertheless, the point here is that we're still at low reservoir levels. And on the left is just the last 3 readings. The IBWC reports these readings on a weekly basis, what we call the published formal readings, and that's what we have now at 20.0. I can tell you, just looking at the informal reading that I saw this morning, we're probably going to see it go up a little bit, but clearly not significant. So we still remain in stage 2. Again, we could definitely get into the restrictions. There's in more detail if you'd like at another presentation. But in summary, this is what we have. In stage 2, which is where we're at now, There's restrictions for landscape irrigation, and right now we're at twice per week. If we were to get to stage 3, you will now be limited to once per week. So bottom line, from stage 2 to stage 3, restrictions just get tighter. Golf course water management plan, right now we ask the golf courses to provide us with, a plan. What are they doing to restrict their usage? We do have some landscape variances. If someone has new grass, new development, there are some variances where you provide us the information and we can grant variances. Residential car washing, again, limited to the days that you can landscape irrigate, which is twice per week right now. Essentially, those are it. If we get to stage 3, some of the new additions, potential additions, are things such as surcharges. If we get to that point, we may implement surcharges where we start surcharging, the commercial or residential, if you go above a certain amount. Again, that's something that we may implement. It just depends on the severity of the reservoir levels. To get to stage 3, one of the criteria is once those reservoir levels drop to 15%. Right now they're at 20. Again, our forecast is that eventually we may get to that unless things change. But once we get to 15% is when we start looking at those stage 3 restrictions. And we'll, it's something that we'll look at. We'll look at each of the restrictions and decide what's best for the community at that point, and what will help us curtail demand.
To get to stage 3, prevent if you get to stage 3, what's the number one factor that you're looking for? As far as the conservation of water, or is it environmental? What is that one thing that would probably prevent us from dropping to
stage 3? So from looking at it from a reservoir standpoint, clearly there's a lot of effort. You're looking at potential Mexico releases. You're looking at the weather, clearly providing some assistance. So very little control over that, right, on our end. But internally from stage 3, one of the things that is going to be our guide will be that 15%. Just as a rough guide, clearly we'll start preparing in advance for that. And on our end, we're looking at different things to help with that. Again, we're just one entity. Clearly, there's been meetings with other regional entities, other regional leaders to see what we can do as a community. Internally, we have a water conservation program. We have some rebates, high efficiency toilet rebates, and again, we can provide a little more detail on that. We have different conservation measures that we employ and will probably continue to work on. And then on the larger scale, clearly from on the engineering operations side, we are looking at things such as expanding our South Mills Regional Water Authority plan, which pulls groundwater. Now, clearly that's something that's a cost, a significant cost. So we're already looking at potential funding for things such as that. Just still a little further down the road, but things that we are looking at is things such as reuse. Being able to pull some of our wastewater plant, providing some of that to some of the resacas in lieu, so that we're able to pick some of that up, but in lieu, so to curtail that demand again from our reservoirs.
We can't rely on Mexico to provide us with water, because looking at the chart that you had, that comparison, it seems like they're worse than we are.
Yeah, they have their challenges themselves, although there's some areas where we might be able to work with them on that. So back to stage 3, surcharges is a potential for stage 3, and then we start getting into limiting the water to resacas and restricting the use of resaca water. That gets a little further down to stage 3. So that's all I have. Again, we'd be glad to dive into more detail with other presentations if you'd like. And all this information, again, is on our website. The plan, the restrictions, all that is on our website.
Thank you, Renee.
I know this was a very detailed presentation, but one of the things is if you can get out to your friends, family, just because it's raining out there and all that water that came in over the weekend, as you can see, that's not where we store our water, and it didn't go. Some of it went over the watershed, it's still trickling in, but we're gonna be in the same situation next year. And hopefully, maybe some other rainstorms coming in the Gulf goes down, and if they go down through Tampico and go into the reservoir systems, they land, and if they stay there, that's how we get replenished. So we're hoping that we don't ever have to go to stage 3, but it's looking like if we are. There's a lot of things that we're working on internally with the communications department. We have also various kits. We have water conservations, and so we're trying to get more awareness, and we're going to come out with more campaigns. So if you can, like us on Facebook, like us, share them on Nextdoor app, and that's the way we're going to be able to get, you know, the information out there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to BPUB overview.
Okay. Evening, Chair, members of PUBCAP. What we like to do each year for the first meeting is do a little bit of an organizational overview, especially for the new members. It's good to get a little bit more information about who we are, what we do, and also to go over a little bit what we see as the role of PUBCAP in that as well. So put very, very simply, the key mission of the Brownsville Public Utilities Board is to provide critical services to its customers. In particular, those services are water, electrical, and wastewater services. So looking at each one, our water is a superior rated drinking water supply. That is from TCEQ, Texas Commission on Environmental Quality. Our water system is composed of 3 water treatment facilities. 2 of those are surface water plants. They provide approximately 40 million gallons of drinking water daily for our customers. And we also have 1 brackish groundwater treatment facility. I know Mr. Mariscal mentioned our SRWA plant. That provides a reverse osmosis membrane treatment. Essentially, it's very similar to like the windmills that you see like around town. It's an RO system that treats our water. Looking at our electrical system, we have a few different ways that we generate power ourselves. We do have locally here our Silas Ray power plant that is 100% owned by BPUB and is a natural gas plant. In Edinburgh, there is the Hidalgo Energy Center. BPUB has a 21% ownership of the output of that power plant. It is a 500 megawatt capacity plant, and it also is a natural gas plant. In addition, we do have some renewables in our portfolio. In Hebronville, we have the Sendero Wind Farm that is 100% owned, the output by BPUB, and has a capacity of 78 megawatts. And then in addition, we are a member of the ERCOT market. The way it works in Texas is utility providers, electric providers can go into the ERCOT market and be able to buy and sell energy. So we have our team who is able to look and see what is the most efficient way to provide electricity to our customers right now. At times, that might be buying off the market. Other times, it might be necessary for us to generate that electricity ourselves. Or sometimes market conditions are such that it's more beneficial to us to produce the power so that we can sell it into the ERCOT marketplace as well. Ultimately, it's all basically it's kind of the state working all together to make sure to serve really the entire state, almost the entire state. We also have our wastewater system. I think we all know the importance of being able to clean up any of the waste that is produced. So as such, we do have 2 wastewater treatment plants. One is the South Wastewater Treatment Plant, and we also have one on Robindale, our Robindale Wastewater Treatment Plant. That one uses UV to treat its wastewater. In addition, we have 194 lift stations throughout our service territory, and being able to feed that, we have miles of gravity wastewater collection lines. For those who may not know what lift stations are, well, we all know how flat we all are here in Brownsville in the RGV. We're not known for our hills and mountains and steep inclines. So really the most efficient way to get the wastewater ultimately to the treatment plant is to use gravity. So the pipes have kind of a slight decline, and so it can work its way down, but obviously it's not efficient just to keep on digging down. So we have periodically lift stations, which kind of do just as the name describes. It essentially provides a channel to be able to lift it up, and then it can continue its journey until it ultimately winds up at one of our 2 wastewater treatment plants for treatment. And all of this is subject to regulation by both the EPA and the TCEQ. So that's the simple mission from BPUB, but to provide all the support that's needed for the utility and for the people who are doing all that work out there, it requires a large number of people, as you can see here. And again, many roles, many jobs, but ultimately one mission, which is to provide critical services. So we do have administrative work, field work, and kind of everything in between. And we'll kind of get a little bit of a look at some of the different departments and divisions now. Looking specifically at our leadership, we do have a board of directors. So the main leadership direction we get from them. The board of directors consists of 7 members. 6 of those members are appointed by the city commission, and the mayor serves as the 7th member ex officio. Our current board chair is Art Rendon, and something that's important, I think, to keep in mind is the importance of this is that ultimately this is a representative leadership. City commission, the mayor are all elected, and then they have the opportunity to appoint someone to be able to serve on the board. So while our board members aren't directly elected, they do pretty much have the voice of the people behind them. Now, I wanted to look at the leadership specifically in our utility, and we'll be able to use this to kind of break down a little bit that organizational chart that we saw earlier. So I know y'all heard briefly just now from Marilyn Gilbert, and she is our general manager and CEO. She's responsible for executing the plans and decisions from the board of directors, so thereby she essentially directs all aspects of the utility systems. As such, she oversees all day-to-day operations, and we'll get into each one, but the company is currently divided into 4 sections that would report to her, each one with an executive manager. So first up, we have Mark Dombrowski. He is our assistant general manager and chief operating officer. His function is he's responsible for operational functions and ongoing maintenance of all the utilities and ensuring that all policies and resolutions are enforced. So essentially, all the linemen that you see out and about, all the people working on water lines, the actual plants themselves, all fall under Mr. Dombrowski. As such, the divisions that he oversees are water, wastewater operations, water, wastewater engineering and capital planning, electrical operations, electrical engineering and system operations, power supply and market operations, environmental services, and then he has one department, energy risk management, that also reports directly to him. And in case it wasn't clear, essentially the divisions are the larger and they are broken down into smaller departments within them. We also have Constanza Miner, who I know is here. She's our COO, our Chief Operations, CAO, our Chief Administrative Officer. She's responsible for overseeing daily administrative operations and provides input for business planning. She has 2 divisions that report directly to her, human resources and the customer and support services. And she has 7 departments that currently are directly under her. That's communications and PR, digital information platforms, key account marketing, energy efficiency and conservation, facility maintenance for our 511 facility, and the facility maintenance for the building here, which is called the Annex Building. We also have Mike Perez. He is our CFO, Chief Financial Officer. As such, he's responsible for managing BPUB's finances. This includes financial planning, management of financial risks and financial reporting, and complying with all environmental laws and regulations. The divisions that he is currently under are, the divisions he currently oversees are enterprise solutions and finance. And next up, we have Paul Gonzalez. He's our general counsel and chief legal officer. Some of y'all might recall when we did this presentation last year that this position was actually vacant at this time. So Paul is relatively new still, so happy that Paul's able to wave. As our chief legal officer, he's responsible for advising BPUB on legal issues and corporate governance, and works to minimize any legal risk for the company. The divisions that are under him is internal audit. This is kind of a unique division because it does work very closely with our board as well. They are responsible for looking and ensuring that we're following rules and regulations, both internal and external, and looking for ways to improve essentially our company, make it more efficient when possible. And in addition, he has records management, NERC compliance, and real estate departments under him as well. So, looking here at PUBCAP, you might wonder, how did they get started? Hopefully you're not wondering, oh no, how did I wind up here? But we're really happy to have all of y'all participating. This is something that was formed back in 1983. Essentially, the idea is to inform us better. When you work at the utility, you can get a little bit more insulated. You know the terms, you know what's going on, so you can maybe sometimes lose a little bit of insight into what your customers are feeling and going through. So that's why this was created, is to be able to know and hear more about the needs and concerns of our customers. So the structure here is we are composed of 10 members that represent a cross-section of the service territory, and then one representative of BPUB, and at this time I'm serving as the PUBCAP liaison on behalf of the utility. And so again, ultimately the purpose of PUBCAP is really customer relations. I think that with a couple of the presentations that we have had so far, it kind of helps to illustrate the need. Ultimately, it's a way that we can get feedback on things. For instance, Miguel's presentation about the rate comparisons. It's important for us to know, does this look right? Is this easier to read? Is there anything that we maybe are missing? Renee's presentation really showed the need to, for us to get information to you, and then to hopefully get some assistance from you guys to get that information in turn out to the public. We do everything that we can, but to make sure that people know what's going on, but especially these days, it's so fractured, the amount of communication avenues there are. People, if they want to, can kind of stay in the dark a lot of times if they really want. So it helps to have that input from others to be able to intervene and to spread important messages. But it's also important for us, again, to hear messages. What happens a lot of times is we will get people who will maybe come to the meetings, or will speak to one of our PUBCAP members as well about a concern that they might be having. There might be an electrical issue that they've seen, where there might be particular outages in a certain area or at a certain time, and are able to come here, share what's going on. And as you can see, we always have representatives from the company as well, so they're able to speak directly to people from PUB. We're able to, a lot of times, maybe get some extra information that is difficult for us to get otherwise, by being able to have the subject matter experts here to be able to talk to them. And doing so, it's able to allow us to identify any issues that we have in our system. So we always appreciate questions. I know sometimes people might feel a little nervous or worried, like, oh, that might be a difficult question, or we don't want to put them on the spot, but that's something that we're ultimately here for. So if y'all have any concerns that y'all have heard about in the community, we definitely don't want y'all to feel shy, or to feel like you need to hesitate from bringing that up, or from asking us questions. And if we don't have the answers now, then it's our mission to make sure that we get that information to you at least by that next meeting. And then, do y'all have any questions?
Not at this time, but you did wonderful.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you,
And-
Ryan.
And again, I want to thank all four of our new members for being here and
Yes.
for getting a chance to learn more. We hope you enjoy your time on the panel.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. Okay, so we're at public comments. Is there any public comments today?
No, we didn't have any public comments come in. Unless
Yes,
there's
sir.
some, I was going to say, unless there's some
Yes,
here,
sir.
in which case you're welcome to go ahead and.
Yes. Yes, come on up, sir. Thank
Ye-
you.
Okay, yes. Okay, my name is Gerardo Lozano. I'm a PUB customer. And I'm here because I have a complaint, and just heard Mr. Ryan, correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ryan, that'll probably be the person I would need to talk to. But now that I'm here, and everybody's here, so since last year, I got a concern about wastewater,
Oh, okay.
okay? Last year, from May 13th through May 17th, 2023, we had an overflow in a manhole. And somebody talked about lift stations.
Oh, yes, sir.
So it's all great and all that, but we're having issues since last year and till recently, last week, September 10th through the 12th, an overflowing manhole, and the lid came off. The lid came off, called PUB. The concern is, or if we can work on something to make it people-friendly, where people can call, anybody can call PUB and report. I've seen water breakage where there's a lot of water overflowing, and it'll be there for 2 days. There's a lot of water lost there. We talked about conservation. So I myself had trying to contact PUB, and it's not very easy. I know we got a website that we can call and all that, but not all people are computer savvy. I'm one of them. So the issue with me is that right in front of my house there, for a whole week, 5 days, there was a raw sewer coming out of that manhole. And it's going into a canal right close by. So
May
I had to take time off.
May I ask where's the manhole located at?
Yeah, corner of Medford and Boca Chica. So my concern is, or at the end of the day, what I would really want to know from all of you is we're committed to making some sort of a program where it's easy, where anybody can call, because I know y'all may get a lot of crank calls, and that's why we do it through animated machines, or the calls, because we can't talk to a real person. And I think a lot of people just give up after calling 2, 3 times and they can't get through. I'm one of them where they ask you for an account number. I don't think anybody's got or not everybody's got an account number where they can just punch it in and, get through. So a lot of people probably give up really easy on making calls. And like I say, a couple of times now, the first time, and it's been like this, and I've come to find out that it's just human error where the pumps were turned off and they weren't turned back on, lift station pumps. So I guess just if we can work on something to make it easier, people's friendly, where anybody can call and get a call through, get to talking to somebody and getting the issue resolved where it can be done, even if it's the following day, but not having to wait 3, 5 days. I talk to my neighbors because I work in McAllen and I leave very early in the morning. And today I left work early just to be at this meeting here. And I barely made it in time. So it shouldn't have me to take time off of my work to come and discuss this. And like I said, on Tuesday, I called 911 because I called PUB, and it says if there's an open manhole, call 911. 6:22, I made the call. And the manhole, when I left the next morning, was still open at 8:30 in the morning. So I came down to PUB to talk to somebody here, talk to secretaries. So the police department reported the open manhole at 9:20 p.m.
but it was still open at 8:30 in the morning. So I closed it. I have all these documented on video. I closed it and came over here to talk to PUB. So they're waiting on a work order to go cover a manhole. It shouldn't be that way. I believe if the police department or sheriff's department calls, there's an open manhole, it should be taken care of, right? So, and I guess all I want from this is, and the water, like I said, is going to a canal, and it's sewer water. At the end of the day, I guess what I'm wanting is, because it doesn't just happen where I'm at, I'm sure it happens everywhere. I don't know, maybe we need to do an investigation on how much water we lose because people don't report it, but I think it's not that they're not reporting, they're trying, but they can't get through. That's what I think, because it's happening to me. The 2 times I've had to come here personally and talk to him because I couldn't get through. And the lady told me, here, no, you gotta do this. I said, try it. And I challenge everybody to just report just make up a place and try getting through. And some of you put yourselves in our spot where we're not computer savvy and we don't know about accounts and all that. We just wanna report the issue. And then you guys can discuss it and see what you all think about the system we have right now, right? So, I don't want to go into details, but I can talk to somebody if they need to, and if they need to view all the things I've got recorded, I'll be glad to show you all, because I'm not making any of it up.
But
Okay? Well, yes, no. Yes. Yes, and like I say, please, everybody try it and put yourselves in our spot where if you don't know about the account number or if you don't know how to get into the website, they're not reporting it. I'm sure there's a lot of good people that are trying to report it but can't get through, because it happened to me.
Thank you, sir, for voicing your concerns, and we will sure, discuss it and make sure that, that this does not happen.
Yeah,
Because
we'll
it shouldn't
try, and I
happen.
know it's
So-
difficult because it's a big city and all
But
that.
I'm
I
glad you brought
understand.
it up to our attention.
But yes, I mean, it shouldn't be difficult.
Yes, sir.
To report something, because it'll save us a lot of
Absolutely.
water and a lot of.
Yes, thank you so much
so
for
much.
sharing
before
that.
you leave, I know one of us will want to make sure to get your contact info so we can make sure to follow up with you about it.
Thank you.
sir.
Is that all for public comments, right? Okay, so, can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting, please?
Luz Marshall.
Okay, thank you. It is 6